What is up, and welcome into the Easy Smoke and the GM podcast. I'm your host, Ezra McCann, and I'm joined, as always, by my outstanding co-host. He's a Chicago Public League legend. He's a Simeon legend. He's a Grambling State legend. He played second base for the Tigers back in the day. He was all SWAC. He is none other than Brandon Williams, a.k.a. Coach Smoke. And we've got the NFL Draft analyst, expert, enthusiast. He is our GM, Glenn Morgan. What's going on? How you guys doing?
Doing all right, man. Got a little adult beverage here. The effervescent mug of choice.
Smoke, by the way, your mug has been ordered. I actually ordered a couple items too, and it is taking forever. I don't know why. So, but yeah, it should be on the way soon. Yeah, I guess the last time we talked, man, was right before championship week.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been a few weeks. So since then, there was a Super Bowl played, Super Bowl 59. Obviously, the Chiefs were the favorite, and didn't really show out in that game.
Mm-hmm.
Got trounced by the Eagles. wasn't even a game after the second quarter. Yeah, kind of a boring game. Halftime show. I enjoyed it.
So did I.
But a lot of people, saying that they didn't understand or was above their heads, whatever. Well, let's get into some Super Bowl talk. Starting off, did this hurt Mahomes in any way?
No,
long term.
No,
it's ridiculous.
No, it just put a
Pause.
good pause on the GOAT topic. That's all it did. And when I say a good pause, like we got to pump the brakes a little bit on that, but he still has a chance to surpass Tom Brady. He's still early in his career. So it didn't hurt him. He's still the best quarterback in the NFL. And
the fact he's played in what? This was his fifth Super Bowl.
Fifth Super Bowl in 7
years. He's been in 7 straight AFC championship games.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know. That was the first thing that was coming out of people's mouths was, oh, he's hurt his legacy here.
No,
Those morons.
If his legacy is hurt, what is the legacy of the rest of these guys in the league?
They don't have one.
Yeah,
they don't have one.
I think what I took from it is that I think we put way too much emphasis on the quarterback position. There are
preach
things that have to happen in order to be successful. You got to have a good offensive line.
We've been saying
you got to have receivers that can catch the ball. And those things weren't happening for the Chiefs. Kudos to the Eagles. That Eagles defensive line came to play, man.
Yes. But on the flip side, where you're saying we put too much emphasis on the quarterback position, at the same time, it's for certain quarterbacks because the quarterback on the other side, all those things that you mentioned, they give all that stuff the credit and not that quarterback.
Right.
The quarterback that won the game. So it all depends on the quarterback that they do that to. They still having a debate on Jalen Hurts, how good he was, or, is he just a beneficiary of the roster?
Do not get me started.
We do put emphasis on the quarterback, but certain quarterbacks, they don't get that same.
That Eagles offense played well. Obviously, the Chiefs, their game plan was to stop Saquon Barkley, and they did a very good job of that. All right. But the Eagles line and pass protection was great. Jalen Hurts was able to find his receivers, and yeah, he took advantage of it. So from that, like I said, from that standpoint, I think sometimes we put too much emphasis on that position. And sometimes quarterbacks do just unreal things and it's warranted, but you got to have 11 guys to come out and play every day in order to be successful, to be on the same page. And I think the Eagles did that. The Chiefs clearly did not do that on that side of the ball. And that was the story of the game.
We put too damn emphasis on the mother quarterback position in terms of having to have a special quarterback, thinking you need that you have to have that in order to win. That is such bullshit. I'm so fucking tired of hearing that. It's bullshit. You don't have to have that to win. You don't have to have that to win and be sustainable in your winning. If you have it, fantastic. When you have one, yes, you can do a lot of different things, no doubt. I'm not saying don't get one if the opportunity is there. I'm saying you don't have to have one. And should you have one, realize that doesn't exclude you from having to do all the other things you need to do. We have said it time and time again, over and over and over and over and over and over again. Quarterback is the most important position in all of team sports. I don't care what your team sport is. In all of team sports, obviously in football, as much as it's the most important position, is also the most interdependent position. It needs everybody else to do their thing for the quarterback to be able to execute and execute at a high level. If everyone else is doing their thing, he can be unstoppable. We saw aspects of that with this past Super Bowl. We saw it with Tom Brady. Tom Brady was barely drafted. I like Tom Brady at Michigan. Thought he was a solid quarterback. Thought he was a winning quarterback. Clearly at the combine, he was not an athletic quarterback. Okay. Doesn't have to be. He'll be the first one to tell you, I don't have the biggest arm. His superpowers, he would say, was his work ethic. But there were so many things around him consistently, and that continuity allowed him to be able to take what he did best and to execute. I'm gonna go way of our erstwhile friend Ken Davis, first big time friend of the show, Kenneth Davis.
Absolutely.
And the fact that called him little baby goat. Mahomes is baby goat. Okay. He's still baby goat. He's still very young. And let's not forget that Tom Brady had 10 years in between Super Bowls. Okay. So he's got plenty of time. Now,
Super Bowl wins.
Thank you. Now, getting back to what you need to do in order to win, this is what pisses me off so much, because look, man, if you live long enough, you start to see stuff, start to see patterns, so on and so forth. John Elway, in my lifetime, in the 50 plus years I've been watching football, John Elway is one of the baddest, not my favorite quarterback, but he's one of the baddest motherfuckers ever lace him up. He literally took those Broncos teams kicking and screaming to the Super Bowls. They got their ass whooped when they got there. Probably should have won the first one. If you actually watched the one against the Giants, they probably should have won that one. Some play calls, some bad calls, and some guys dropping. But my point being, you can't do it by yourself. Mahomes, we've seen him get smacked around in 2 Super Bowls because the line couldn't do what it needed to do, and receivers weren't able to do what they had been doing all year long. And Mahomes ran for his life, and you see what happens. We've seen Tom Brady, would have been arguably the greatest team ever, 17-0 team getting to the Super Bowl, got manhandled on the line by the Giants, a team that was a wild card team that barely got to the playoffs, and lost to the Giants twice. Same Giants team, and basically the same way with that front line, defensive line giving you problems. We've seen the Seattle Seahawks run roughshod over Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning had one of his best years ever that year. I think he was league MVP that year when he was with the Broncos. People are picking, oh my God, the Broncos are unstoppable offense. Legion of Boom busted them. Who was the quarterback? Everyone's favorite quarterback to crap on now, and Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson was with what, 3rd round pick?
Mm-hmm.
Barely scraping 6 feet tall. What did he have? Really good offensive line, great running back. He didn't have great receivers. He had solid receivers. Great defense. You don't have, and they were able to sustain that winning. That Seahawks team had a nice run, man. Those Broncos teams, when he started winning Super Bowls, appearing in them and winning them, the defense was fantastic. offensive line was top of the line. Obviously, Terrell Davis got into the Hall of Fame, and he was having MVP caliber type seasons, and they had a Hall of Fame wide receiver in Rod Smith, and obviously John Elway, but he was 75 years old when he was playing. Those Green Bay Packer teams with Brett Favre. Oh, Brett Favre. Yeah, he's great. Don't get me wrong. Dude threw a lot of picks too, but great offensive line, solid running game, hellified defense. You don't have to have a great. And what was Brett Favre? He was what, a third-round pick, second-round pick? He was basically a bust sitting on the bench getting drunk in Atlanta. You look at Jalen Hurts. If you watch Jalen Hurts from college to the pros, there's no way you would think when he was at Alabama that he would be anyone's starting quarterback in the NFL. And if he was, the team would be There's no way you thought he would be Super Bowl champion, let alone have been to 2 Super Bowls already, and let alone be one of only 2 people who's led a team to score 30 points in Super Bowls. You look at the way that whole Philadelphia team is comprised, and here Howie Roseman, Hall of Fame GM. He's crafted 3 different teams that have gone to Super Bowls. He should be 3-0 as a GM. If Jalen Hurts doesn't fumble the ball and a questionable call 2 years ago against the Chiefs, they probably run away with that one as well. But it is what it is. He's still 3 different types of teams for the most part. That first team, it was so good that it could endure losing an MVP candidate in Wentz at that point in time, to where Nick freaking Foles comes in and outduels Tom Brady, okay, to win that Super Bowl. And then you look at that team that was a lot younger on both offensive line and defensive line, but that team several years later with Jalen Hurts, after Wentz just goes from sugar to shit, Wentz comes in as a second-round pick, improves his game, does well enough with the RPOs and the running game, offensive line, all these things working in tandem to be within a few plays of winning a Super Bowl, to come right back this year where basically most of that team that was there is gone. A lot of guys on offensive line are gone. It's basically a whole new defense. And we know most of those guys came from the Georgia double championship teams, especially on the defensive line. And thank you, Chicago, if you're Philly, for giving them Jalen Carter, because Carter and Jordan, I can't remember his last name, those guys, Davis, are just destroying people up there. Like you forget running up the middle. So, and then they drafted well, and that's the other thing, they drafted well. They're not giving up their talent. They as much talent as they get, as much talent as they tend to attract, they also retain enough picks that they have the flexibility to move around the draft and get the guys that they know that they need to fit, their culture, if you want to use that word. And you look at the cornerbacks they drafted, bring in Nick Fangio, and then 1 or 2 other. Saquon obviously was a huge get. And here you are, and it looks like the Philadelphia Eagles. I would not be shocked next year if they go 14-3 and wind back up in the Super Bowl again. Because I say this because those guys, especially those Georgia guys, are used to playing for championships. They're hungry for it. They're not satisfied just getting one. They want more. They've got that championship pedigree. Saquon's going to want another one. Jalen Hurts, it doesn't look like he's going to be too worried about making commercial. I've never seen somebody with such a face of a solemnity. I mean, that dude is like, he cracked a smile, be like, yeah, he must be like happy on the inside, jumping.
What was that word?
Solemnity.
Oh, okay. All right, I'm sorry. That's that Brother Rice education. It's a little more advanced than what I'm used to. Sorry.
Anyway, my point being, and here's the thing. Here's the thing. Sometimes we talk about your team gets into a situation where the organization, I should say, is in a situation where they start replacing. Take the Pittsburgh Steelers or the Ravens. They know the type of players they need to have, and so they bring in those players. They know exactly. They seem to always be able to draft exactly what they need, right? Because they know the kind of players they need to keep the machine going, so to speak. The Eagles are in such a situation right now that they don't have to worry about getting the players, because every year it looks like they're going to be needing an offensive coordinator. Because right now, if you want to be a head coach, the runway is through Philadelphia. Your offensive coordinator come there, get you your 1 year, and then go get your head coaching job somewhere else. Because now you don't have, everyone's worried about, Jalen Hurts, he's got to go through an offensive coordinator. No. you tell offensive coordinator, this is what we do here.
Mm-hmm.
And you bring it and you fit it around these guys, and it shouldn't have to be that hard because they know how to win. And I was one of the players, I think it was a tight end, it might have been Goddard, was saying that the offensive coordinator who's now the head coach with the Saints.
Kellen Moore.
That he came in, didn't change too much about what those guys did, saw what they did well, the things they didn't do well, got rid of that, and then sprinkled some of his stuff in there. And basically just don't overthink it. And they didn't overthink it. So if you want to be a head coach and you're offensive coordinator, the runway is paved for you right there in Philadelphia because there's so much talent. Vic Fangio basically just came in and said, oh, man, with this talent, all I got to do is this, this, and this. Once they know that, we should be good to go. He's not going anywhere. He's from Pennsylvania. He's a native Pennsylvanian. So I'm sure he's in line for another, like, hey, let's get another one. So all you need to do is get your offensive coordinator and the head coach, he used to call. So everything's in place there. And that just lets us know just how mistake-filled and wrong-headed Poles' thinking was when it came to crafting this team this year. Was he way off? No. But the focal point, as you mentioned, was putting too much on the quarterback. That is, it was ridiculous, egregious, as we would say, that you would put all of that on a rookie quarterback without providing him with any semblance of a line, without providing him with the veteran leadership and help of a quarterback to help him, as far as a veteran quarterback, to help him mature and learn what it's like to even be a pro at the NFL level. All those things, hopefully they were paying attention and realized that we are a lot further away than we are close to it. Do we have talent?
I don't agree with that.
Do we have talent? That offensive line, you need probably 5 people. I'm not saying 5 starters, but you need 5 people.
Wait, Ed, you don't think we're
the defense? I think is a lot closer. On offense, dude, we're a lot further away than.
Wait, Ed, you don't think we're that far behind?
I don't think so. No.
Dude,
no.
If the Chiefs got manhandled like that and they're Super Bowl champions,
it was one game.
Oh my God, dude! Seriously,
but the Eagles was doing that to everybody. But the Eagles were doing that to everybody.
Yeah, dude.
They caught fire at the end of the season. I'll give you that. At
the end of the season?
Yeah,
bro. I don't know what season.
Dude, they got beat by Washington in December.
Yeah, but Jalen Hurts didn't play.
What?
Jalen Hurts didn't play.
Okay. And they didn't get destroyed by Washington.
And it was a walk-off touchdown.
Bro, there's a point where a team hits that stride where they're like, oh, we the shit. Philadelphia is, dude, I'm telling you, that team is going to be a problem for some time. And that's Philadelphia. We still got issues still got to deal with our own division. Still got to deal with the Rams getting better. Still got to deal with Washington. Dude, we're a lot further away than we're not. I'm not saying we can't do it, but they're.
I gotta see it
to make that. You shore up the offensive line,
dude.
I gotta see it. I think what we did in another year under Poles.
I'm not saying. Wait. I'm not saying that we're gonna win a Super Bowl next year. I'm saying that we're not.
I don't think you're saying that, but
yeah, I'm saying that we're not that far away. That's all I'm saying.
We're further away.
So you think we go from 5 to what?
I mean, we got to see what they do. They need to sign a guard, 2 guards, and they need a center.
They need to sign a tackle, 2 guards, a center, and another offensive lineman to be a swing lineman. They need another person on the defensive line.
I'm talking just starters. I'm talking just starters right now.
I am too. They need fine, 4 guys on the offensive line. They got 1 starter right now, and then he's young, and I'm going to give him benefit of the doubt. But the jury's still out, so to speak. On the defense, you need 2 people. You need someone to get upfield, a true 3 technique person, so to speak. We're going to stick with that 4-3, and you need another edge rusher on the other side.
Edge rusher. You need a linebacker.
You're going to need a safety because Brisker's health is going to be an issue going forward. He didn't finish the rest of the season. He plays the way he plays. A concussion is going to happen again. You're going to need depth at that safety position.
So you're saying sign a starter at safety?
I'm saying you need to really consider drafting someone who can be a starter at safety.
Okay.
And here's the other thing. I mean, I'm not pissed with Swift. I think he's fine. But you might want another running back. And on top of all that, yeah, sure. And on top of all that, our quarterback is still extremely young. And he's going to have to be learning a new system. And it's not like he's a veteran. Like Jalen Hurts has been through like probably 5 systems in the last 6 years of his career going back to college. Because he went from Alabama to Lincoln Riley's system to whoever the offensive coordinator was when he got there. I think it was a former head coach at with the Jacksonville Jaguars. I think that was his first year as a backup to I think Shane Steichen, and then the guy they had last year, who I forget who that was, and then the guy he had this year. So he's gone through, but he's a veteran now, and he has veterans around him, and he has a hellified line, and he has a Hall of Fame caliber running back. I mean, he's got a lot. We're some spots away, bro.
I think for us as Bears fans, I don't want us to get carried away yet another season by last year was by the quarterback pick, and this year it's about the coaching picks. That we get carried away and start to put unrealistic expectations on this team. We're still far away. We're still far away.
Yes.
We're still far away. I mean, we don't know what this coaching staff is truly going to be. Like, it's still so many uncertainties with this team. To think that we're not that far away is crazy.
And let's not forget, it's the new defensive coordinator too. So we don't know what the defense is going to look like or how they're going to be employed as far as the players, how they're going to be utilized. That's a lot of change. And not saying that it can't happen. I mean, we just literally saw Washington have a great run. We saw Houston have a great run.
It happens just about every year in the NFL.
It does. And
there's a team that makes a turnaround. And I'm saying that, you know, if things go right, that could be the Bears. That's all I'm saying.
We have to make how many true roster changes did Washington have to make last year?
They made significant ones. And one, I mean, the whole coaching staff was a big thing.
Okay, yeah, we did that.
I know you said roster change. So they brought in a couple of free agents at the skill position on defense. A lot of free agents on defense. That's probably
the quarterback.
But their defense wasn't that great.
You brought in a running back.
Yeah. Who was the running back?
Brought in a tight end.
Oh, they brought in Eckler.
Brought in
backups.
Brought in Ertz.
Ertz was already there, wasn't he?
Nope.
No, Ertz was in Arizona. Ertz was in Arizona. You're right. Ertz was big. Okay.
Quarterback, obviously. I think they brought in an offensive lineman, maybe a center or guard. I think it was an interior offensive lineman they brought in. But most of the free agents starters were on the defensive end.
They brought in Bobby Wagner.
Yeah,
they brought in Bobby last year, though, right?
Nope.
He came mid-season last year, I thought.
No, he came in this year, didn't he?
He came in this year.
I thought he came mid-season. Okay.
No, he was with Seattle last year. He went back to Seattle last year.
Yeah.
Because he went to Miami, right?
No, he was with the Rams.
Who went to Miami?
The Rams.
He was with the Rams.
Oh, okay. Okay, you're right. But, okay, they made changes.
But think about San Francisco. As talented as they are, they're closer than we are, and they just had,
Well, yeah, they just had a bad run.
That's what I'm saying.
Injury wise. So
that's what I'm saying. They had a bad run.
Mm-hmm.
You still got to factor them in that they're not going to have back-to-back years of bad runs. That whole division going into next year might be the toughest division.
It all comes down to like we just gotta hone in, like relax on our expectations.
Yes,
because I mean,
we
can all say that Washington did this, and that, but not 2% of the world thought Washington would make the turnaround they made, regardless of all the changes they made. 2% of the world thought that they would, but about 75% of the world thought the Bears would make that
jump
turnaround. So that's what I'm like. The expectations.
That's just because we're meatheads sometimes.
But it wasn't just Chicago.
No, it was. It
wasn't just Chicago. It was in the national media.
Here's the thing: Washington and Houston both had phenomenal season. One season turnarounds from like worst to playoff caliber and winning games and winning a playoff or game or more once they got there. But what we're not factoring in is that they both were in bad divisions. Dallas wasn't what Dallas had been the last several years, and the Giants were a god-awful team. You look at that division that Houston was in, it was a horrible division year before last, and it was this year. And the Jacksonville was supposed to be that team, and they fell off the year before when Houston made that run. The Bears are not going to have that luxury. That the division's not. Those teams in the division aren't going anywhere. They're set going forward. All those teams are 9+ win teams. That's the caliber.
We act like those teams just bum rushed us all season. That didn't happen.
I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that the part of winning is sometimes not having to fight every fucking game like it's a playoff caliber team you're playing every week. When 3 teams in your division are playoff caliber teams, that's an issue. When you look at the other division, I'm not certain which division the Bears. Who did the Bears play in the NFC this year? They played the South, right?
Yeah.
You played. Okay, so they're not playing the South this year.
No. They played.
Yeah, they played.
No, they played the West.
They played the West.
They played the West. Okay, well, they're fortunate not
playing. No. They didn't play the West.
Yeah, they did.
We didn't play Kansas City this year.
The NFC West.
NFC West.
Oh, NFC. I'm sorry. I'm thinking AFC.
No, in the NFC.
And we only won one game.
That was
the NFC West.
That was
the Rams. Earlier in the year.
Right. So we're not playing them. So that's fortuitous. It may be the East this time. I think it's going to be the East.
It is the East. It is the East.
So that's Philly. So you'll find out real quick. That's Philly and Washington. Those are going to be,
And I mean, I know we said Dallas didn't, but
the talent's still there.
The defense, they turned that shit around up towards the end of the year.
Right. And Dak didn't play most of the year. So that's going to – so I'm just saying that the NFC all of a sudden has become an extremely difficult conference. Atlanta's going to be a lot better next year.
Here we play we got the NFC East. We've got the AFC North.
No, we don't have the AFC North. We played them this year, didn't we?
No.
Who did we play in the AFC this year?
We played the.
Who did we play this year?
We played the North, didn't we?
No, we didn't.
No,
we played Pittsburgh, Baltimore, and
we played the South. We played the South.
We played Houston, the Colts, Tennessee.
Right. Played the South.
Right.
And the Jaguars.
We got the North.
And we went 3-1 versus them.
We went
2-2. We went 2-2.
NFC East.
You got the Cowboys. We got the Cowboys, Giants, Browns, Steelers, and Saints at home. We've got, and obviously not including the division. We've got the Eagles. We go back to Washington again. Ravens, Bengals.
Why is it like we always going there?
We are always going to Washington.
Yeah, when was the last time they came? You're right. When was the last time they came to Chicago?
They went Urlacher.
That's 3 years in a row.
Yeah, I think Urlacher.
No, they came here that year. That
Urlacher was a rookie.
No,
year before last.
The Justin Fields DJ Moore game was in Washington.
Right, the year before that. They came here. It was a Thursday night game.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
We had on the orange jersey.
But this is gonna be 3 in a row though.
Yeah, so one out of every
Yeah.
4 times.
Because we went there this year. We
Yeah,
went there
right. Yeah,
the
that's why
Justin
I'm like,
Fields game. We
yeah.
went there this year, and then we got to go back there this year or in 2025. Ooh, damn. This is a tough schedule. Now that I look at it.
So
In
like I
theory.
yeah, no, I get you. So like I said, we're not that we're not that close. We're about 3 years away.
Not
Let
that.
let
No.
let's be shocked if we
No.
do turn around. I
Dude, what are you
I
saying no
agree.
to? I'm talking about from being in the Super Bowl. I'm not talking about just making it to the playoffs and losing in
Oh
the first
shit.
round.
I was thinking that.
I'm talking playoffs.
Playoffs are about 2 years away.
I can see that.
Being a Super Bowl contender, we're no earlier than 3 years away.
I don't even
And that's
Super Bowl contender.
no less than 3 years away. I mean, no sooner than 3 years away. And keep in mind, a lot of those guys' contracts are leaving next year on defense. You know, you're going to start replacing people. Because last year ended up just basically being a wasted year.
Shit, should we just go ahead and trade for Myles Garrett? Say fuck it.
Only
No.
if we're ready to win now.
No.
You have to give up too much to get them, and you're still
No.
going to be
We got
devoid of
to.
what you need.
That said, I know I said that we're not that far away. We got some things we need to do before we can worry about, making a big splash.
Yeah, don't
The year to
worry about
trade,
who can possibly get him.
the
Because I
year to
tell you
trade.
one thing,
You saying if the
if
Lion get him,
Detroit go get that motherfucker,
that will be a problem. I definitely agree with you there.
sometimes you just got to make a move so somebody else can't.
Yeah, but we don't got the luxury of giving up draft picks for
We ain't got none. So
Myles Garrett. Yeah,
Oh, we got some draft picks, and you might have a player or two you can throw in there.
nah, I'm good.
But if
I mean,
y'all get draft picks,
that would be a luxury.
yes, that's ironically Pace still has shown better than Poles, and getting Khalil Mack should have worked. I mean, it worked that year. It was a great move. He deserved to be general manager of the year that year. Just had a bum ass quarterback and opposite head
You
coach.
mean
A
you
bad
mean
field goal kicker.
Pace? You mean Pace?
Pace. I said, yeah. I'm sorry.
You
Pace
said
was
Poles, yeah.
Pace. No, I said Pace was better than Poles.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
To this point, still. I mean, the Khalil Mack move. It was a good move. It made sense. He mortgaged the future, but man, damn, that year that was a year to kind of capitalize. He just had a bum ass quarterback, a bad field goal kicker, and a stubborn head coach. Other than that, they were ready. But I'll tell you what, man, that Super Bowl reminded me of the Patriots and the Bears because the Patriots had that same game
I was
plan.
gonna say it just reminded me of an '80s Super Bowl just in general.
Well, yeah, that too,
Yeah.
because of the lopsidedness of it.
Yeah.
But it definitely reminded me of the Bears because just like the Patriots were all over Walter Payton, they say Walter Payton will not beat us. Just like the Chiefs would say Saquon Barkley will not beat us. Even at the end of the game when it was decided, anybody else can score. You're not going to score. You're not going to run 20 plus yards against us, no matter what. And you're going to have to beat us passing the ball. And that's what the Bears did. And then the defense just destroyed the other team. And that's exactly what Phil. I mean, all those sacks. I'm like, dude, they might not. The third quarter might do that. I was still interested in the game because I'm like, I want to see a shutout. I want to see a 30-plus point shutout. I wanted to see the shutout. And I don't hate the Chiefs. I like the Chiefs. I have nothing against the Chiefs. I had no dog in the race. Just as a football fan, as an aesthetic, to see some shit I ain't never seen before. I just wanted to see a Super Bowl shot like the 73-0 Bears against Washington back in the day, in the 1940s or whatever that was, when the Bears beat the Washington Redskins 73-0. That's some shit I never saw. I just, I see the photograph, the little, 8mm film that shows it. I wanted to see that real time. And it was close. It's off for 3/4.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's similar. I mean, to see a guy of Patrick Mahomes' magnitude. Now, granted, we saw that already before.
This was different, though.
But this one was different because the narrative then was his offensive line wasn't good, and so
got hurt right before the Super Bowl.
And so you knew that the Bucks was going to send the house at him.
Right.
The Philadelphia Eagles did not blitz one time.
Nope.
They didn't blitz. And I mean, from the first possession of the game for the Chiefs, you saw a different Patrick Mahomes.
He was off his game too.
He looked flustered from jump. And it was like, whoa, this is a little different. This doesn't something's happening here.
Yeah,
and as we saw the rest of the game, they had him rattled. They had him rattled.
I say even before we saw the rattle, and I agree with you 100%. I want to say even before, because the first drive, it's a lot of sparring, that kind of thing. You can get a little pressure. I don't think a first drive is going to, especially a quarterback, if his accomplishment is going to really mess with him. But he was off his game from the beginning.
Yeah.
It actually looked to me like he was playing with something else on his mind outside of football. Like he wasn't himself. He was throwing behind receivers, man.
Mm-hmm.
And that was before the pressure, before the pressure really came.
No,
once
that's
the
a
pressure
fact.
came, once the pressure came, then he was definitely, totally out. Then he was just playing. He was like, oh shit, like what happened? Like when did this get real? It's like, dude, it was real from the kickoff. Welcome to the game. But he was throwing behind receivers. He threw behind Kelsey. The first pass he threw to him, it was behind Kelsey. A couple other passes was behind people. Like, dude, the first one he threw to Hopkins, it looked like, oh, Hopkins dropped. Hopkins didn't drop the ball, man. That was a hard throw. He threw it low and almost behind him. The fact that Hopkins even got a hand on it was a testament to Hopkins' ability, because he doesn't, and that's a dude who's a great bad ball catcher, But yeah, he was behind, man, and they just the coaching staff had no answers, But you're looking at another organization, man, that makes the adjustment, and whenever they find an area where they've been exposed, they usually come back the next year and that area is tightened up, or if that specific area isn't tightened up, other areas are further enhanced so that it becomes less of a liability. And I know people are saying how well that division that the Chiefs are in are going to get better with the Broncos and Bo Nix having a good rookie year, and Sean Payton being the head coach, and Harbaugh being a really good coach, and the Chargers are going to start putting stuff together. The Raiders now is going to have Pete Carroll, and he's a mover and a shaker. He's an older guy, but he's a young dude at heart. So yeah, the divisions, but I don't think the Chiefs may not run away with the division, but they're not going anywhere.
No.
If anything, the competition may make the Chiefs even scarier, because they tend to rise to whatever compete level is in front of them. So
I mean,
yeah,
because at the end of the day, as much as the league or the media want to elevate others within the AFC, ain't none of them done what the NFC team has done to them, outside of Joe Burrow. And you ain't worried about Joe Burrow. Just that until they can figure out that defense in Cincinnati, nobody's worrying about them. But like Lamar and Josh, like y'all keep having these phenomenal seasons and can't get past the guy. Like, so,
right.
like, I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, yeah, we got our brains beat in, but it was in the Super Bowl. Wasn't like one of y'all got that monkey off y'all back.
Yeah,
right.
But those teams are watching that tape though.
They don't got that personnel though either.
Guarantee you that. Yeah, but
the Bills are close.
The personnel matters.
The Bills are close.
I know it's a copycat league, but that personnel means a lot.
On defense, the Bills are close, and the Ravens and the Steelers aren't that far away. There's some really good I mean, hell, the Browns have a really great personnel. Well, when Garrett leaves, they won't. There's some teams that maybe can't match Philly, but they're not that far away from it. But yeah, this, like you say, they still haven't figured out how to stop Mahomes yet. And speaking of Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson and Joe Burrow, and some of us want to throw in Saquon Barkley. I'm talking about the MVP race this past NFL season. One Josh Allen has won his first MVP. And although he was a second team All-Pro, do you guys feel that it was warranted? Can you make the case for Josh Allen winning? Do you think it was Lamar Jackson fatigue? Do you think Lamar didn't deserve it? Do you think somebody else may have deserved the MVP?
Yeah. a lot of things you said. I do think it was voters fatigue. But I do think you can make a case for Josh Allen, for Lamar, and also for Saquon Barkley. Like, I think partly what hurt Lamar was them giving him the MVP last year when he didn't have the gaudy numbers.
Right.
Um,
It's hard to argue against Allen if Lamar got it and didn't have the gaudy numbers.
Yeah, he didn't have the gaudy numbers last year. So it's a lot. It's a lot to it. I think what threw me off about the whole thing was them giving Lamar first team All Pro, and so that's where it kind of was like confusing for me. Like, okay, now all of a sudden this year we want to distinguish the difference between the best quarterback versus the most valuable player. Like, now we want to do that argument like that because Lamar with those not so gaudy numbers last year was still first team All Pro, correct?
Well, last year players played different. I mean, you know, and everybody.
I mean, I know it's a year to year thing, but
right.
but it just, yeah. I think if you all knew you were gonna vote for that man to be the MVP, make him the first team All Pro quarterback.
I agree. However, in agreeing with you, I can see it doesn't bother me as much because I think there is a slight distinction between the MVP award and individually what you're doing at your position. Last year, Lamar's team had a better record, and your value is not just a team award, but your value is definitely how well your team is definitely a mitigating factor. And they had the best record in the conference last year. Mm-hmm. Buffalo won the division handily this year, and although they lost a head-to-head to Baltimore, they had a better team record. And ostensibly, there was less offensive talent. When you have a skilled player of the renown of Stephon Diggs taken away off your team, and you don't have a true number one or primary receiver, and there were a number of defensive players who were starters who were let go, you know, to fill cap money, so on and so forth. You basically had a lot of players who weren't starting. And so Josh Allen proved his value by carrying aspects of the offense on his shoulders, but playing a much better brand of football than he did maybe the best brand, probably the second best brand as far as consistency with the year that they lost that playoff game to Kansas City, that first time they went to overtime. But he had a lot less turnovers. He still gave you consistent running numbers, rushing touchdowns, as well as the passing touchdowns. But I think as a team, they did better, and his value in the Buffalo Bills' value was that much more enhanced as a viable NFL team to challenge going forward into the playoffs based on what they did in the regular season. Conversely, with much is given, too much is expected. And although individually Lamar had a fantastic year, they lost some games that they probably shouldn't have lost. Losing to the Clown Boys was a game they probably shouldn't have lost. I think they had 4 or 5 losses this year? They lost. Yeah, and it's like, and you had Derrick Henry who ran like over 1,800 yards running, I think, this year. I mean, Derrick Henry is probably low key MVP too. And it's like, well, are you much better because of you, or you got a little more help this year? So I think that worked against him a little bit. And like you said, not having the gaudy numbers when he did win, I think a little bit of fatigue was there as well. But I think that based off of last year, the Ravens season was a bit of a disappointment because they got so far last year, and then you got more talent to help you, and you lost more games. So I can see the argument. I can see how people's mind. And then if you're looking for reasons to not give it to him, Lamar helped you a little bit, or the way the team in the season played out could help that argument. If you're looking for a reason not to give it to him, if you're looking for a reason to give it to Josh, because Josh has been knocking on the door. It's like, man, we really want to give it to you, but we can't because you haven't done it. Hey, this year you're doing a lot with less. And then, if the Ravens win, if the Ravens have like 3 losses, I don't think Josh Allen gets it, especially since the Ravens beat the Buffalo Bills. So you can say head to head, he had a better game and his team won. So Saquon, I think, if you ask me, if I had a vote,
I was just about to say,
if I had a vote, my vote would have gone to Saquon, because it's such a quarterback league. So I have quarterback fatigue a little bit to some degree. So I'm looking for someone not a quarterback to really have a substantial year, and he had that. If he had played the last game, there's a good chance he has an all-time, single season rushing record. That being said, he still had a phenomenal year. Still got over 2,000 yards rushing, and he made it look easy. And the Eagles team was a whole completely different vibe, and their offensive prowess was that much more enhanced, making them that much more difficult to contend with. And a lot of that you can specifically because the two big differences on the offense was Saquon and offensive coordinator. Pretty much everything else was the same damn players. So to me, I think Saquon, and I know that the playoffs don't factor into it, but you saw just how much more of a phenomenon. And then I also too, because we were talking about on our thread, I think other things that go into the MVP race is having those moments, like Heisman type moments in the NFL, something very memorable. Saquon had that play that is just the most phenomenal play I've ever seen in my entire life. That sticks out in everybody's head, and they won, some games, he's, getting almost 200 yards and still got a quarter left to play. It's just like, what the hell, So to me, I would have probably gone Saquon, Lamar, and then Josh, as far as if I had the votes, my first, second, third.
Yeah. What exactly is an MVP? What is the definition of MVP? What
Well,
are we looking for?
the league MVP, I believe that's how well your team does statistically, how well you do as far as not just having statistics, but consistent statistics, and then showing up in clutch moments or defining moments to help your team win. Something that you do where if you were not there, the team's chances of winning are not only greatly lessened, but most likely isn't going to happen. I think carrying the load offensively week in and week out, I think those are things that make you a most valuable player, league MVP. I think with Lamar, I can see where the league part may not have been there because of some of the losses based on the talent that team probably should have. It's another reason why Patrick Mahomes probably only has 2 league MVPs, I think, maybe 1 or 2. It's very difficult. It's like, well, you can almost say Patrick could get it almost in a year. So it's like, yeah, but it's not like he's, And then when you reach certain levels, sometimes you become a victim of your own success, and I think that happens as well. We saw it with Michael Jordan, in
that's
NBA.
Stop taking my points, man.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, but that's the problem for it. That's the problem with it. Honestly, though, like,
is it the best? Should it be? It's just the best player. The best player in the league should be who the MVP award goes to. All right.
Well,
but it's a narrative driven. It's a narrative driven award.
I'm saying
the case, a lot of defensive players should be.
A defensive player should be in the mix for MVP. I have no issue with that. It should be who the best player in the league is. And I think this season it was Penei Sewell.
You linemen, you guys all stick together.
No, seriously. I think that it is, and maybe I do have quarterback fatigue. I brought it up earlier, but why does it have to be a quarterback? It seems like in the last few years it's become this quarterback award, and that's not right. The MVP should have been the 2,000-yard rusher in Saquon Barkley.
Because we truly saw the impact.
Yeah.
He had on that team.
You saw what he did.
I mean, and it wasn't just in the playoffs. We saw it in the regular season.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
well, if I'm not mistaken, the playoffs shouldn't even come into
it doesn't.
into a
It doesn't.
factor. Yeah, shouldn't factor
It
into
doesn't.
this.
But I know when they give the award so late, like they do,
Yeah,
it naturally forces people to look into the playoffs as well. Even though their voting isn't supposed to factor into that, but people
right.
look at the playoffs. But like Saquon, you clearly saw the difference
Yes.
in the team because of him. And like we said, the playoffs don't count, but we saw in the Super Bowl the approach that the Kansas City Chiefs took,
All right.
which ultimately
Let
led
you
to
know.
their demise. They went all in on stopping him while getting their brains beat in because they focused on one thing. So he took the game plan was set on him.
Right.
Yeah,
And I mean,
yeah.
like,
Glenn, you brought up MJ. He should have been the MVP of the NBA from 87 to 93 and 96 through 98. He should have
Arguably.
won. He should have won 10 MVPs.
Arguably. I'd say at least 7. Look, yeah,
So
what do you have? 5?
5.
yeah, 5. Yeah,
Yeah, 5 and
yeah.
6 MVP finals. Yeah, the Karl Malone one was probably the most egregious one to me. Barkley, I can again. This
I
goes
get
Josh
it. I
Allen,
got it because
Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, because Phoenix wasn't nothing like that, and
yeah,
Barkley
they won 63 games that year. They were the
and
number
had the
one seed.
right, and that's what I'm saying. That's but like if you wanna have as much as you can correlate two different sports and two different leagues when it comes to MVP, the Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson probably closely resembles Michael Jordan and Charles Barkley.
Nah, no.
I'm just saying in terms of having a better record and that team doing like who else? I mean,
The
Kevin
reason
Johnson's a nice
the
player,
reason,
but
mm,
Dan
I,
Marley, yeah,
I'll say LeBron and Derrick Rose more so than Josh Allen and Lamar, because Josh Allen and Lamar is in the same argument every year. There was nobody in the argument with Michael Jordan. I mean, Charles Barkley, yeah, he won it, but like Josh Allen and Lamar, there's an argument every year for Josh Allen to be an MVP too. If you get what I'm saying.
well,
Like Derrick Rose was no one truly thought
He did.
I mean, of course he did, but no one truly thought.
Why can't I be MVP?
but no, I think you just went against your own argument because Barkley had been good that long. Barkley had been MVP caliber player that long. You just said that Rose came out of nowhere, whereas Allen
You're
and
right.
Lamar, it's
You're
the
right.
argument every year. So Barkley
You're right.
and Jordan,
I kind of am comparing Barkley and Jordan to LeBron and Derrick Rose. That's what I'm doing. You're right. I fucked that all the way up. You're right. You're right. Now that I'm sitting here thinking, I did. Yeah, you're right.
because you guys Barkley, he thought he should have been MVP. He thought he was the best player of the league.
Well,
he,
until
he,
the dream team.
well, no, until that finals.
Uh,
When he's like, yeah, because and here's the
no,
thing. I
no,
mean,
no. I thought it was the
Now Barkley was
Barkley said the
dominant.
dream team.
Barkley was the best player on the Dream Team as far as the games truly went.
No, but I thought he said in the practices he thought he was the best player, and then he
Barkley says a lot of things.
realized,
He says a lot
yeah,
of
maybe,
things. So,
yeah.
but I would say Barkley, not retired Barkley, but Barkley, real time, 92, 93, felt that he was like right there, and to go from Philly and then take that Phoenix team to the finals, and the way he did it, getting to the finals, beating the teams, beating beating Houston, or not Houston, but beating San Antonio, and beating Utah, hitting game-winning shots, and then put the Bulls on notice. I mean, the Bulls up 2-0. Everybody thought it was going to be a party in Chicago. He's like, "Nah, we don't want Chicago to burn down. We're gonna take this back to Phoenix."
I remember that.
And then, if it wasn't for a Herculean effort by Michael, like the only person to score in that last quarter against Phoenix,
Well, until Pax.
But to get the ball up the court quick enough, I mean, they were really close to putting that to 7 games, and who knows? And the Bulls, you could tell the Bulls, Michael and Scotty were feeling the legs from the Dream Team thing. But anyway, we digress. So yeah, I think we're all in agreement here that as nice as Josh Allen is, and as great a season as he had, I think all three of us agree that one or two other people probably should have been MVP over him.
Just knew they were going to give it to him.
Yeah, I mean, he's the front runner all year.
They wanted to.
They've been wanting to.
They wanted to.
Because he can't get to the Super Bowl, so give him something.
Right. They wanted to. So, congratulations, Josh Allen.
Yeah, and here's the thing: I'm not pissed that he got it. I mean, it's not like he had, a crappy. It wasn't like he had it wasn't like he didn't do anything. I mean, he really was valuable. He really did carry that team. They really were consistent. They really did play well. Again, they were this close to beating the Chiefs to get into the playoffs, and I know the playoffs don't matter. But just in terms of being that kind of caliber talent,
well, he beat the Chiefs in the regular season.
In the regular season, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The only real loss they had.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're all. I mean, look, man, and people want to make an argument for Burrow. Getting them to 9-8 with no defense and a no offensive line, and average running.
No way in hell.
Me either, but he led the league in passing. It's kind of like Deshaun Watson. You're on a bad team, lead the league in passing. Okay, congratulations. But Burrow's going to be in that conversation. Herbert, for whatever reason, they keep throwing him in the conversation, although he's not done anything, but Harbaugh might get him more consistent. And you've got Stroud, who's going to be vying for those kind of accolades as well. So it's going to always be a challenge in the AFC. And you look at the NFC, there's no lack of talent in the NFC. These young quarterbacks really showed a lot this year. And arguably, we're supposed to have the best quarterback, or the one that was taken first in this past draft class. So maybe he might even find himself if Ben Johnson's all that he's purported to be. We may find that Caleb Williams in 3-4 years might be in that conversation too.
Next year. MVP.
I'll tell you who's not in the conversation for success.
Who was that?
That's Chicago Bulls. However,
I was going to say, wait, before we even get to the Bulls, I was going to say, since we've been gone, since when did top 3 players in the league get traded?
So Garrett,
when
Luka got traded to the Lakers.
Yeah, that's crazy.
How does that happen?
Collusion.
Commissioner's a joke.
If Chris Paul couldn't go, how is Luka leaving Dallas and going to the Lakers?
I don't get that.
At the end of the day, Adam Silver is a joke.
So you say he should have stopped it?
Well, you're trading superstar.
I say this. You think
Dallas?
Well, I can't think of his name right now.
Anthony Davis?
No, the former owner.
David Stern?
You think David Stern okay in that trade?
Well, Glenn brought up the Chris Paul thing. The reason he didn't do it was because at the time, the Hornets, it was the New Orleans Hornets were owned by the league.
Mm-hmm.
And so he said he didn't want to, make that much of a disruption.
Well, I mean,
being that they own the league, or they own the team.
But quite frankly, I mean, honestly, I didn't have no problem with the trade.
I just thought I knew it was the Saturday night.
I thought it was a spam message when I got.
Yeah, I didn't believe it. And all of a sudden, I started getting all these text messages about it.
But
That's just crazy to me.
I
But
mean, because I thought,
I
it
guess it's
doesn't look.
happened. Kareem got traded.
Yeah, it don't, and he's a. I'm gonna be interested to see how it shakes out for him in LA being an international superstar.
Should shake out well.
But
Better than
them foreign players are weird. He might not even like LA types. It might be too much for him. So I'm interested to see how that play out. I when it happened, I'm like, okay, I liked it for both teams. I like it for the future for the Lakers. It's the Lakers. I felt
right.
it was influenced by the league to assure that they have a superstar post LeBron.
Yeah.
Right.
For the now, which we know that it's broken now, it was all predicated on if they could stay healthy. I felt they had a team that could contend now for a title. But as we see already, after one game played, Anthony Davis is out multiple weeks. So it's just like, hey. So
he gone.
the Lakers ultimately wins this trade by default.
Absolutely.
You said top 3 players, so Luka, AD, and who else were you referring to?
You said a top 3.
I said players. 8 top 3 players.
Oh, I thought you said top 3.
Top 3
players.
Yeah.
8
top 3. Yeah. That takes us to the Bulls. Obviously, we were expecting a lot from this team heading into the trade deadline.
Oh boy, I was about to say what? Oh man,
no,
I was about
honestly,
to say, wait a minute.
I honestly thought that they were going to just clean house.
But yes,
everybody would be gone.
Yes, we on the same page
and we be in tankathon mode, and then
and we can't even do that right.
The first chip fell. They sent Zach to Sacramento, which, by the way, I'm a huge Zach fan. I'm a Zach LaVine fan, but I was like, cool. You sent him to Sacramento. Poor DeMar DeRozan just got away from this dude, and now they back.
We sent him there for nothing.
So I thought, okay, cool. You sent him there. Whatever. We didn't get nothing back, but our own pick. Okay.
I thought Darren Fox leaving was weird for Sacramento. I'm like, really? Are you gonna send him to San Antonio? Congratulations, San Antonio.
Yeah,
looks like you'll be in the finals in a couple of years.
Yeah.
I just knew when it was a 3-team trade. I just knew Chris Paul old ass was coming to Chicago. I just knew it, but we didn't even do that.
He did it right. They didn't get they didn't get nothing huge back in return. You got Kevin Huerter. Okay. That's a guy.
Trash.
Zach Collins. Okay, whatever. Who's the other guy? Wearing 30 now. That they got back.
And we got Trey Jones.
Trey Jones. Okay, whatever. Cool.
8th guard.
Cool. But
what about the kneecaps?
I was expecting Vooch to be gone. I was expecting Kobe to be gone. And
I thought Kobe might stay, but I definitely expected Vooch to be gone.
Well, I figured one of Kobe or Ayo would be gone, and we get some assets back.
And Pat Will still.
Well, Pat Will. Nobody wants Pat Will.
Man, you package him with Vooch.
Nobody want that contract, dude. They gave him $90 million.
That's which is these dudes is terrible, man. These dudes are bad.
He's about the GM, right?
Hey, and don't forget
the entire team.
And don't forget about the unnecessary news they decided to get into with extending Lonzo. What did you buy? No.
And I like Lonzo, but
what was the
why
point?
Would you send him to LA?
Why even announce that to us? You just wanted to be in the news. You just wanted to be a part of the news cycle.
At least it's cheap. All right.
Man,
they're 2 years. 2 years, $20 million, and you got a team option in the second year.
They fucking with us, man.
You're right.
It was no reason for them to do that in that moment. when you got all these trades going on, and the Bulls just extend Lonzo Ball. What the fuck?
And then AK had the nerve to say that these next 30 games
Are crucial and are dude.
we're gunning for the playoffs.
I'm so
what?
sick of these. Man. I ain't been so mad about a front office ever. I'm so sick of these mother.
This is
You
unbelievable.
talk about the Bears and Ryan Poles. Man, this AK can get the hell on. Get out of here.
I mean,
He's
honestly,
so bad.
I miss the Garpax days.
What?
At this point,
Man,
At
he
least
started off good.
At least Garpax, you know what?
Okay.
At least we were, we were good with the 6th spot. We were fighting for the 6th spot, 6, 7. At least we were there. These dudes, man, they're content with being 10th in the conference
every year.
Man, I'm sorry. I don't usually do this when it comes to like GMs and stuff, but I know for goddamn sure we can do their job.
Absolutely.
We can do the job
Absolutely.
they're doing for the Chicago Bulls.
They've done nothing. They haven't done anything.
If all I'm gonna do is pick guards, we got a roster full of guards. We got 10 damn guards on the roster.
Hey! You're not factoring Pat Will. You're not factoring Bazelas. I mean, come on now.
Wait.
He made the trade for Vooch.
I'm gonna put Pat Will on you, Glenn. You were the one that was talking about Patrick Williams when he was at Florida State.
The talent is there.
No, it's not.
The talent's there. He's just
there's no talent there. No. He's got the measurables. He's 6'9".
No, dude, he can play. He can post. He can shoot the outside shot. He can do these things. He just doesn't do them.
He can play in a pickup. He'll come in a pickup game and he'll look like Michael Jordan.
Yes.
But in the NBA,
what? I'm not.
Only thing that I get out of that draft was when we talked, if y'all remember, and we asked who was a sleeper, and I said Tyrese Maxey. And that dude is still killing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And we got Pat Will. But I tried for a few years to give him the benefit of the doubt. Arguing with Bulls fans who telling me I'm crazy thinking this dude good. Oh man, you gotta give him a chance. And these people gave that man $90 million.
$90 million. And we wonder why nobody wants him. Come on, man.
Like, what are we doing here?
AK, since he's been at the helm here, I'm trying to see what trades he's made here.
DeRozan, right? Was that a trade or was he free agent?
Trade. We signed DeRozan, right?
He's a free agent?
Yeah,
we signed him. That was a free agent move.
Vooch traded.
So since that was the first one. That was the first one. And then since then, I'm into 2021 now. Nothing. No. DeMar DeRozan was a trade.
Yeah.
Trade,
it was
still a trade.
They traded Thad.
Oh no, we traded that.
Yeah.
Right, we did.
And
give it to the old guy. Woohoo!
And they got Alex Caruso in free agency that season.
I think
I'm into 22.
What about Ball? Was Ball a trade?
That was a free agent. Free agent move. 23, nothing.
Nothing. That's good.
24, he traded Josh Giddey for Alex Caruso.
There you go. That's the one to put us over the top.
And then he just made the Zach LaVine move.
You mean that put OKC over the top, right?
No, put us over the top in terms of guarantee we might have a top 3 pick.
No. Because they've still won too much.
We still got a lot of games left to lose, man. We still got a lot to lose. Hey, we got Derrick Rose with less than a 2% chance.
That was great.
Hey,
This is
Cooper Flag. You don't think, based on the complexion of the team now, Cooper Flag wouldn't fit right in?
absolute.
That might be the case.
Hey,
I'm just saying.
I'm with Cooper Flag, man. Hey,
Hey, I like him.
Yeah.
He's a good
he
talent.
can play. I actually do. I will give him. I do like Bazelis.
He's got some athleticism. He got a little
Yeah.
dog in him. Yeah, I think the more he plays, the better he'll get. You get a
Man,
real
just need
point
to play
guard.
him, man. Forget
Yeah,
everybody else. Play him and
play
Dalen
him.
Terry 45 minutes a game.
Yep. Let the young guys run.
Did
But
you
this
say
is supposed
Dalen Terry?
Yeah, we drafted him.
yes, that's true.
That
I
dude.
mean, goddamn.
That dude terrible too, man. I'm
We
sorry.
drafted him.
Yeah. This is crazy.
He's a nice bench player.
At least put him out there and at least you can see he's super terrible, and you won't. Maybe you don't get fooled into paying him $90 million.
Well, this is supposed to be a pretty good draft class. So if we can get top 5 pick, I think that'll be
We'll
a
be
bit of an
7.
accomplishment. We'll probably get
they're
7
gonna get
again.
7 as usual.
And it's probably set up for Ace Bailey out of Maryland.
As usual. Well, maybe they lost to the Pistons tonight.
I'm telling you, baby, Cooper Flag, right around the corner.
And,
or how about Harper's kid?
That's what I think. I think we need a top 3 pick.
Hey, he's supposed to be nice.
When healthy,
we need a
Yes.
top 3 pick to either get Cooper, Dylan Harper, or Ace Bailey, in my opinion.
Ace Bailey, he fades away sometimes to me too much. Like he shows up and then it's like, where is he? So he's a little inconsistent. He's a young guy. It's nothing you can't get better. Obviously, super young, but there's some talent coming out this year, most definitely. I
don't think it's not gonna be there for the Bulls though.
Bulls go draft a foreigner from Yugoslavia.
Yeah, they get a top 3 pick.
Or somebody from G.
How they gonna get that though?
Dude,
they have to win the lottery again.
It can happen. It happened for the Knicks. Happened for the Pelicans. Happened for the Bulls. Happened for the Bulls before. It can happen again.
No, they can lose a lot of these games. I will give them that.
Yeah, get more lotto ball. Every loss is a lotto ball.
Yeah, but the problem, I'm telling you, there's gonna be some wins here. He's gonna be like, damn, we do not need to win this game against Brooklyn.
Do not underestimate a team's capability to not give a foot down the stretch. That's all I'm saying.
Or damn, why are we losing to the Washington Wizards
Again?
That's all I'm saying. Hey, let's get out of here. The finals for picks. Since we didn't pick the Super Bowl because we didn't get together.
I had the Eagles.
The final game that no, you didn't. No, you didn't.
I did have the Eagles.
You had the Commanders plus the 6
for the Super Bowl.
No, for the Super Bowl.
Oh, for the Super Bowl. Oh,
yeah.
I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I had the Chiefs. I lost a little money on the wager.
I don't think anybody won on that game.
I admire your Philly did. A lot of Philly fans
unless you made a one straight bet, but if you put any props, I don't think anybody won that game.
Maybe MVP. That might be the only one.
So who was the MVP? Was it Jalen Hurts?
Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
Okay. So here's the deal. Glenn, you went in championship week. You took the Commanders plus the 6. You took the Chiefs minus the 2, and you took the under in the Bills Chiefs game. I think the only one you got there was the
Chiefs.
under.
Chiefs
yeah.
Oh, the under.
Yeah.
Chiefs.
Oh no! You won the Chiefs. I'm sorry. You missed the under. So you are one. You finished 1 and 2 there, and your final
500.
Final record is 24, 23 and 1.
Yeah, baby. I'm a winner.
Smoke. You went 2 and 1 in championship week. You had the Commanders plus the 6. which you lost that one, but you had the Chiefs minus the 2, and you took the over in the Eagles and Commanders game. So you finished 30, 19, and 2.
And overachievers.
All
Always
right.
making everybody look bad. Fucking up the curve, man. Fucking up the curve.
And then let's see. I finished 1-2 on championship week. I had the Commanders plus the 6, lost that. Um, I had the Bills plus the 2, lost that. But I did get the Eagles and Commanders the over in that game, which went way over. The Eagles put up what? They put 55 up in that game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Right.
So I went 1-2 there, and my final tally is 30, 18, and 3.
So
You're
how does that
overachieving
work?
too.
I think we're
So you
basically
win by
tied.
half a game?
It's like
Because I got one more loss.
it's yeah, you got one
Yeah,
loss. But
yeah.
I
So he
had
snakes it
the
out.
it's basically a tie though.
So basically, you telling me the fix was in on the betting. Congratulations, man. You
So I'm
guys
gonna
have
share. We're
phenomenal
gonna
season.
share this title, man.
You guys have phenomenal
Good
season.
with
I'm
me.
proud of you.
We'll share this one. Yeah, let's get out of here, man. We'll see what happens here with the Bulls going forward. Pitchers and catchers reported today.
Yeah, baseball. I was getting ready to say, man,
Baseball
don't
season is
snooze.
here.
Baseball
Smoke, you
season
guys
is
have
here.
started. Have you guys started workouts yet, or
We've been doing voluntary
voluntary?
workouts.
I hear you. I hear you. I hear you.
But we
Say
officially
nothing
start
else.
February 25th.
All right. All right.
Hey, don't forget about the bowling team here, man. We're in contention now for first place. We're right there in second. We got a big, what do you call it? It's a matchup week this week. So, you first place, second, third place for all that stuff. So, got a big bowling, man. I'm telling you, right around making that push. Make the playoffs. A lot of money to be won in that league. A lot of money to be won in that league.
Okay. How's my buddy Brandon doing?
Brandon was low, man, 2 weeks ago.
Whoa. See,
But
we're supposed to be pushing to get him into the PBA, man. What's
we
going
are.
on?
Yeah, he's been a little distracted. But your boy, you asked about Brandon. I'm right here.
No.
Everybody. Your boy, 2 out of the last 3 weeks won some money. I mean, come on now. Hey, it could have been 3 out of the last 4 weeks. So the game's been turning up, been pretty healthy, been hitting over 600 series the last several weeks. Tell you, man, I was this close to
Wow. So you're
dropping
averaging
about
over 200, huh?
last several weeks. Yeah, I've had a bad leagues, bad starting out. But see, that's not a bad thing. You get that handicap. So this time of the year, you get a little bit of handicap and you get into the pot money, your score. So when I start throwing these 230s, 240s, 250s with my handicap, I'm everybody's best friend. Everybody wants to be in the doubles with your boy.
So what's your handicap?
Right now it's an embarrassing. I think it's either 29 or 30 pins. which is not very good. I mean, the league it's a tough league, so I think it's based off of 230 or something like that. So I'm pretty much like right there. But like Brandon has like I think 5 or 7 pin handicap, but he's like one of the top 5 bowlers in the league. His average is about 213, 215, something like that.
Wow. All right.
Yeah. So, but we're right there, man. Come down the stretch. We're in a tough division too, man. 3 teams are like only like maybe 1 or 2 games separating us. We're all over 500. It's been a battle, so it's gone down the stretch. We got about another 6-7 weeks left.
Where's the Nationals this year?
That I have absolutely no clue.
No.
I'm just talking about our league.
No.
But
No, don't you usually go somewhere to?
Yeah, every year I go down to Detroit. It's a tournament in Detroit. Every year it's the Hamtramck is what it's called. That's in Detroit, and that lasts from April to August, basically. So you can go down. You can compete as often as you want. It's you against the field. I think top dollar. If you win the top spot, I think it's 20 grand. Brandon, I think, finished 3rd or 4th one year, And I think
he won some significant money there.
He won some significant money. Yes, he did. Not to put his business out there too much, because but yes,
hey, I'm definitely pocket watching.
Yeah, no doubt.
That's how I afford all them J's.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense now.
But hey, I'm telling you, it's right there. Boys getting on this game down the stretch. Made the playoffs the last 2 years. We're going for a 3-peat.
Well, that's going to do it for this week's edition of the Easy Smoke and the GM podcast. I want to thank everyone for listening. We greatly appreciate it. You can catch our podcasts everywhere: Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio. Where else?
YouTube.
Well, I was going to get to that. There has to be another one I'm missing. Amazon. Yeah, all those places. And you can catch us on YouTube at the HP53 Productions page. Just search for HP53 Productions, and you will find the video version to our podcast there. And you can also catch us on our website, hp53productions.com. Yo, Glenn.
Yep.
Please take us out.
Hey, it's like we always say here, Easy Smoking and GM the podcast. We ain't saying we're right, but everybody knows we don't think we're wrong.
Catch you next week or at some point.